And we're live. I forgot to hit the tweet button. No, wait, that's the offline button. Fuck, no. There we go. Got it. Nailed it. Everything's fine.
Wow.
Hey,
Good
everybody.
job.
It's Ace Attorney. The great one, even. Let us continue.
Oh, yeah?
I believe the ship was about to come screeching to a halt. After we learned that the guy who wrote every half hour in the manifest didn't at all last night.
Yeah.
And now there's a bell. Bring, bring.
Yep.
Bitch. This is you. Just gonna sit here in awkward silence with a bell ringing, huh?
Bling, bling, bing, bing.
There it go.
It's bell noise. The stream is just 45 minutes of this. And then we end it with no further talking.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, but like...
I'm really struggling with my noodles right now, so I'm not even getting that out of this.
Isn't this content?
No, it's not.
Are you sure?
This is the sort of
I'm having a
avant-garde
great
content that
time.
makes people report you on YouTube. I'm not still bitter
It
about
says something
that.
about the human condition. Bing, 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 ding. It's kind of a musical bell.
Ah, what's that?
Oh
my god. Oh, that's not good. Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter-mile far. Full stop, hard to starboard. All hands brace for impact. What? Are we about to fucking run into another ship? What the? Josh, please. I'll do all of your lines for you if that's what you want.
It's even better this time, though. There's a siren.
Oh, no.
Now, this is avant-garde. If only we could get rid of the music, so it was just bell and siren noise. That's what I'd want. Anyways. I think we're about to crash into another ship.
I'm glad you look mildly concerned about that. What? Oh, it's tilting.
I can't stand.
Susato-san, hold on to me. Ah!
Did he just say wog?
Susato-san,
Oh
are you
God,
alright?
He's been an orc.
Are you injured
for
at all?
40k. I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruto-san.
Yeah, Mullah guy, once upon a time I made a reaction video where I forgot, quote-unquote, to record either the thing I was reacting to or myself, or the audio from the thing I was reacting to, so it was roughly 30 minutes of me just, like, watching something on in the background, and at one point you can hear me loudly, like, turn on my DS and start playing Fire Emblem, and then you could hear me leave the room, and I thought this video was very funny, and somebody reported it for being false advertising or something, and then I disputed that, and it got held up. So I then privated all of my April Fool's videos, because you don't get to have fun anymore. Somebody ruined it.
That's the internet for you, baby.
It looks like we avoided a collision.
That's the slogan for the internet. You don't get to have fun anymore. Ever. For anything. Eventually, someday, we will all be found to have done something wrong. And then they will come for us, one by one. And I won't resist. I'm too lazy. Anyways. I think...
Yes, the ship has come to a stop.
Therefore I am. Dude, see the books? See the books, though?
Yeah, they're all...
That thing we said that happened?
It's right there.
Crazy, I know. Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruto-san? Are you hurt?
Yes. No, I'm fine. Hello? Is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance, I assume. Oh, that sounds like... Ah, the door slid shut. Oh, it's Hosonaga.
Nope, it's Hosonaga.
And the lock slid
bolted shut.
Exactly how we thought.
I like how they were like, nah, they won't be able to figure this out. We better do it right in front of them, so that they can really piece it together. You know, Inspector Hosonaga.
When it was like literally the first thing we noticed. Is that you in there, Naruto-san? Unbolt the door quickly. What? The bolt? Wow, they really spell it out, huh?
Look at that.
The door's bolted.
I've no.
Did you do that, Susato-san? No? What do you mean?
I don't
You would have
think
seen it, I assume.
I thought you two were like cowering together to not like fucking die or whatever. I've decided I've not been a I've realized that I'm not consistent at all with Susato's voice volume, and everyone's just gonna have to deal with that. She's gonna be extra quiet today.
Oh boy.
I stage whisper. No, I didn't.
Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books and the painting. They're just like they were before again.
But not the warning sign, which is
Now that
held
shit's
firm.
bolted.
Now, Herdo-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in?
No. I'd better tidy this place up first. Why?
Why do they keep tidying things?
Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery, at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. She's dead, isn't she? To be continued.
Snapped her goddamn neck.
What was the other boat about? Or is that just not important? Is that just a reason for us to emergency stop?
There's just a reason for the emergency stop, probably.
9th January.
What do you think the other
SS
boat's gonna be?
Borja.
It was like a pirate vessel.
Miss Pavlova's
Fucking
cabin.
swerved up.
Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Susato-san took a deep breath, then gently slid back the bolt. Ah, hi, everybody. Yo! What? No, this one was you, sorry.
Nope, that one's me. Yo, what are you doing, Miss Pavlova's quarters?
Oh, you're both looking hurt. Good. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship. Yes, it appears to have been a false report, though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought he saw a ship ahead. This person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop.
Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming. Crew are running everywhere.
The first class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. That's why we're here. It's too loud everywhere else.
Oh, I see.
Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah! You wicked intruder, dressed all in black. You are the devil. Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil was a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, we didn't touch it.
That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin.
Inspector. Yes? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he has killed a man. What?
Ah, he and the stowaway as well. A vixen promises not to steal chicken. Do you believe?
Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right, you are devil.
Doesn't look good, does it?
There's a cell below deck, throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong, then we give you straight to police.
Wait, a cell?
But I can't investigate from a cell. Please, Inspector Osanaga, is there nothing you can do?
This is a Russian vessel. Nope, I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. So I guess the court trial will be in Hong Kong, I suppose. This is a real crisis.
It's only
I've got to
been
find a
2.
solution.
It's 2 of 2.
Immediately.
This time's even worse. We've also been charged with kidnapping, snake napping. There he is. Hello, Holmes.
How long have you been here?
I meant Sholmes.
What the? What are you doing up there? Mr.
I like
Sholmes,
how they just make him. Oh, there he is. I like how they just make him smaller so he can like be in the background.
Just hang on stuff. Mr. Sholmes? Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 rubles feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that as a detective it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't mere tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no. Well, why were you hanging from that hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of the 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend that conceited-looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Oh, you again, the great detective. Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time.
What is to report? Speak.
An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night here on this vessel, the steamship Borea, has been solved by me, naturally. It has?
I don't believe that even for a second.
What?
Really?
Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Oh boy, we get to do this again. Yeah.
Ha! You have solved it. Even Hedgehog understands this case. This guy talks about a lot of animals.
I know.
We all knew who was responsible for killing student boy this morning, and we found criminal in wardrobe. Sholmes did it. A bold guess.
That'd be wild.
He's actually done every crime that we're gonna solve in this entire game, and he's just getting away with it scot-free. Oh my god, he's his own Moriarty. It is a stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it.
I didn't do it. The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim, because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who was inside the cabin. Wrong.
Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories. The locked room, that is point.
The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. We are still hanging. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You were all quite mistaken.
We literally just...
Cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all.
We just saw this cabin lock from the inside.
We just saw it happen.
In front of our eyes. You looked at it specifically and went, ha, that's a mystery solved. And now 2 minutes later, you're like, there's just no way they could have locked the cabin.
There's no way they could have locked it.
There's no way. It's like, what is
maybe he was talking about the mystery of why the books fell over.
He's so stupid.
I know. Listen, it's only his second case. Give me a break. Oh yes, there was another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. Why, it gapes open-mouthed at you even as we speak. The ventilator man! The ventilator?
You think this is fun? I cannot even put my arm through that hole.
That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening. That's not possible.
Sholmes like you see.
And last night the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator.
Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23. I almost said 1, 2, 3. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. It looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. I want him to just pull up a snake. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I am about to expose for you all to see will shock you to your cores. Behold! Ah! Ah, what the? Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The Speckled Band. A snake? Indubitably.
Oh no, it was a snake the whole time?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I mean, obviously the snake didn't actually kill Kazuma.
No,
but
because it's a constrictor. They don't typically snap
because his
people's
neck
necks.
was snapped, yeah.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be right? No, he's wrong. But okay.
Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more
It's
stripy,
sort of striped.
wouldn't you say? Oh my god. Hmm?
Yes, you're right. I think in this case you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you?
You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? What?
Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap?
How exactly? I think perhaps it is time I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Ah. And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. Oh, that's why the sailor has those marks on his face. Holy shit.
Marks, yeah. I was
So he
wondering about
knows
those.
about the...
What?
No.
Well, he didn't freak out.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's turned as white as a bowl of rice again. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head.
No, she probably just thinks that's what happened.
Woman's friend killed Mr. Oski. Yeah, and we're gonna have to defend her in court, I bet. Bleh! It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck.
Well, it's a constrictor, idiot.
So, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Yeah, here it comes. The great deduction. The game
Here it
is afoot.
comes.
Topic 1. Conclusion. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing is nothing to do with me. And you cannot deceive yourself. Why is she looking at her hand? Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain.
Her hand smarts with pain.
Yep.
She get nipped at?
And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without a doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. Is this
No,
not?
it's the sailor.
Oh shit! She has. Wait, no, hold on. Does she have a completely different snake?
I mean, maybe. That seems unlikely, though.
It does. And yet,
It might be.
the fact leaves us in quite a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably, the specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give? What was the sight that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? What did she just...
Oh,
No,
she's
don't
looking for
look at
something.
me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Oh. Yes, that what you are trying but failing to conceal can only be the snake's sloughed skin. Well, no. Evidently after the
No.
subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours. Does the snake have a fucking, like, sweater or something? Shed its original skin, no?
Snake sweater.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you see, he has a very strong head and neck.
Last night, through the ventilator visible in this
And also,
cabin...
this is a weak snake.
True.
Weak snake.
You fucking weak-ass bitch snake. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent slightly descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it sloughs its skin. A snake so dreadful we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. A beloved speckled snake. Topic 2. How Mr. Asugi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. Ah! In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. Nope, it's gonna be the track. The almost, but not quite, imperceptible puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. As the vestiges of the snakebite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. There was no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? Oh, she did. Okay. This deduction is based in the original Sherlock story. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabinet, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't. It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard moments before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you would use to train your serpent friend. To train? Indeed, you'd put the serpent through this ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared not to have been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake has undergone such training? It's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor Yonzan's life. There can be no doubt. My logic is infallible. Well, we'll get there. Death by a venomous snake
To be
bite.
fair, technically, his logic is sound, but all of his statements are false.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
it's a false argument.
Right. Thus concludes Sherlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. You gonna take off my handcuffs so I can tell you that you're fucking wrong, you clown? This
I mean,
Pavlova
snakes
is
can
trained to
hear,
pet snake
though,
as
I'm
a
pretty
killing
sure, right?
machine. That's true. Oh yeah, it's Asuki. Rip him, Duck Game. They're
It's
on the...
Kazuma. Yeah, he's fucking dead as shit.
Yep.
Broke
There on the
his
floor,
neck.
you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You've solved the mystery! Amazing, your great deduction really lives up to its name. I now see why Sherlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. I don't think the Russians say that. Do they?
Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes?
Of course. But of course, what's on your mind? I almost made him French because of the but of course.
It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make It's just I'm confused. There's a few things here that don't make sense.
I've just got a few questions. That's the front from case one. Yes,
I
you're
just-
correct. And welcome
You
questions as
see,
to my method.
there's a few things that have been bothering me. And when I get these things that bother me, I just can't sleep at night.
I welcome questions as to my method. I will answer both loudly and proudly.
Oh, well, good. First of all, pulls out book. Snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family.
Yes? You are well informed, madam.
And reptiles, don't drink milk.
Ah,
It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward.
so does she have a different pet that's not a snake?
Does she have like a cat? And the snake is someone else's snake?
The
is
snake
the
is
snake
just
like
the snake is
the
Mr.
ship-
Stroganoff's
it's
snake. Oh,
is
maybe
it just Stroganoff's snake? Is
Maybe-
it just like the ship's snake that is here to catch rats on the ship?
that'd
'Cause
be
they have
my
a
guess
rat
because they have a
problem?
rat. They have a mouse trap outside. Yeah, you're
Why
right.
they would bring a snake instead of a cat? I have
It's
no idea.
wild. It's wild,
Snake?
but
Snake.
or maybe her pet is a rat.
Her pet's a rat,
Maybe.
and the snake ate. This is all kind of conjecture at this point. I think we could just continue.
We'll get there by the end of this deduction dance, I bet. No matter, no doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage a pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds.
Well, there's something else. Snakes have no ears.
Ah.
Ah, Mulga, you're right. Yeah, so I'm not sure it would be possible to signal a snake by whistling.
But madam, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute?
I think perhaps the performer play their music in time with the snake's natural movements.
Oh, I see. No hands, no
Yeah,
feet,
neither
no
should-
ears.
neither
Those creatures
should-
are so inept as to be practically useless. No bones.
Neither should.
Yes.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Fucking cutting ass off, bitch.
I'm sorry.
I was trying to say, humans also largely shouldn't drink milk, and yet we do.
And yet I drink so much fucking milk. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes.
I did appreciate your no bones things. Snakes
Well.
really are worthless, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like a tube of meat.
Godless heathens.
I know, right? Not like the rest of us, bone having. I mean, as far as I know, every other reptile has bones, except for the snake.
Except for the snake,
You know,
it's
it's the
weird.
real platypus of the fucking reptile kingdom.
Oh, Dr. Roylett trained
Oh, he
his
trained
snake
it using milk. Oh, so
Looks like
Doyle
you got
just made
something
shit
wrong,
up,
Sir
is what you're
Arthur.
saying. Arthur Conan Doyle's like, yeah, he used milk to train his snake, which he commanded with a whistle. And then this game came along and was like, yes, none of that's how that works.
None of that is how any of that works.
Well, you see, the platypus is God's mistake of the mammal kingdom, and the snake is the reptile equivalent. Bury the platypus! Because you see snakes, for some reason, just don't have bones.
Oh, I thought, did you read that?
There is one other thing.
Sorry. You have more?
I keep up the stream, so when you skip my dialogue, I can read it off the stream because of the delay.
My god.
You can't stop me. Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So I'm not really sure that a snake can manage to climb up a flat bell cord like the ones in those cabins.
Then it should try harder.
Please don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this.
Hmm.
Who knew Susato just had animal facts on?
Just knows
know?
things about animals.
Dude, did she get that fucking magazine that there was always on the TV? Remember that? That ad for that one magazine series
Oh yeah.
with the animals?
It was crazy.
Dude, she probably's got a subscription.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruto.
Oh no, you don't mean.
Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be.
I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. That's what I was waiting for, Mr. Naruto. Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down to your wrists again. What?
Oh, he did it again, the bastard!
You've done it again! This game just dunked on Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Fuck
Just
him.
took a shit right on the man's grave. Like, you won't let us use your character's name, bitch!
We'll show what you know about snakes, asshole.
Your handcuffs are gone.
Where did they go? Fear not, I shall see they're restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Sherlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Again. Course correction. Hold it, Mr.
This
Sholmes. But Doyle also thought snakes
Yeah.
have bones.
Yeah, he would be a bone believer. That fucking bitch. Bitch-ass bone believer.
Bone truther.
God. Listen, all that happens is a few fake snake bones get buried in the dirt, and everyone's walking around being like, "Oh, you know, snakes actually have full skeletons." Fucking horse shit. How they wiggle? You know the only other thing that wiggle like
our
that?
Our streams are
Fucking-
completely inaccessible to people who
fucking
haven't been
worms.
watching them for years.
Imagine if someone logged onto our stream, right? Just
A snake
randomly, and just
scientist.
heard me yelling angrily about snakes not having bones.
Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. This whole thing is nothing to do with me. And you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. Nope. She does have a pained expression on her face.
Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-sama's death is weighing heavily on her mind.
But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then?
Let's take a moment. Did she hit the button? Is that why she's looking at her hand?
Maybe.
I still think he, like, died accidentally when the ship stopped or something.
Yeah. That's true.
But
that's
I don't
true.
know how the logic of that would have worked out. Because someone would have had to have been in the room when the ship stopped, right?
Right.
Because if it was bolted from the outside, that means... Wait, no, how did that work?
So
Hold on.
I
Hold
assume
the
he
phone.
must have been dead before the ship stopped then.
Yeah, because someone that wasn't him wrote with the ink on the floor.
Wrote
And
for
he
them to
was
look in
already
the wardrobe. So it must have been somebody that also knew that Ryounosuke was in there. Like maybe they had just figured it out.
Or just guessed it, yeah. So that means because if he died from the ship stopping, that wouldn't work out because then who would have wrote the message?
Who wrote wardrobe in Russian on the floor?
Right. So that means he did die, and then the emergency ship stop happened. But I still don't know why. I don't know if someone big-brained that and was like, this will bolt the door.
I guess that Sholmes still holds up. I don't know that it does.
And really look very closely at Mrs. Pavlova.
Oh.
The scratch.
Ah, she does have a cat.
Cat scratch fever.
She does have a cat or
It's
something.
100% a cat. See, I didn't know that that saucer on the floor was milk. I assumed it was just water.
I also
for the
assumed
snake.
it was just water.
But if it's milk, this makes a lot more
I mean,
sense.
I guess the only reason we really thought it was a snake is because of the speckled band thing beforehand.
Which I knew wouldn't be the answer because that was way too
was
obvious
way
because
too
they
obvious.
showed, like, the intro cutscene showed the whole, like, it being a snake thing.
It was a snake, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Naruto-san, look. That looks like a very painful wound.
It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too.
Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around here.
Oh, right, I have to present it.
Yes!
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 Claw scratch. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Gah. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? Ah! A snake red herring, a snaring. When I think about the young man who died next
snaring.
door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel, was it not? It was. Ah, as I suspected, another telltale glance. Without a doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent is the cat just fucking under the table.
It's just hiding.
Seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they?
Yeah, they don't got shit.
They don't have anything.
Worthless ass. No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet on which claws might grow. They are
Well,
truly
then.
the Lord's mistake.
If that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers?
You should follow her gaze, Naruto-san. That's where we'll find the answer. I like that. I like how that when it gives us control, we can just spin slightly and go, ah, there it is. It's in the photo. Yeah, it's a cat.
Yes!
It's literally been there the entire time, just behind a fucking...
I love that
Oh, that
this
was
game's
wrong.
like, aha.
You were looking over this framed photographic print, weren't
Oh,
you, Miss
was wrong?
Pavlova? Let's not be distracted by the print itself. Oh, no. It's the frame that's your friend, isn't it? Because... Okay.
What?
One spectacularly contrived logic led you to that mindless conclusion. Oh, well, it's supposed to be a logic and reasoning spectacular, so I thought I'd contribute to the show. This is my show, Mr. Naruto. Kindly perform any peculiar experience
You
on
have to
your
examine
stage.
the photo first.
I have to examine the photo first. Sorry.
I
Listen,
figured it was something like that.
We can be reasonably sure of the blah blah blah, yeah.
That same friend is probably responsible for the scratch on the back of her hand.
Yes.
Listen to whatever it is, this friend must be small enough to pass through the ventilator.
That ought to really narrow it down. Let me scout around. Oh, I didn't realize that was new dialogue until just now.
Yeah, that's why I read it. I was wondering what you're doing. There's the cat.
Oh, it's adorable. Oh, look at the
Kitty.
photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away.
Yeah, Boka, that's part of the reason I kept saying God's mistake, because with snakes it biblically works.
It is biblically.
It's great. They literally, that's why God took away their bones. The snakes were like, eat this apple, and God went, no, no bones for you anymore. Goodbye.
I don't know if you read
She's
that or not.
exceptionally beautiful, isn't she?
Sorry. Yes, that's true.
I read
but
it now.
personally,
You can't
it's the
stop
little
me.
black creature she's holding that's caught in my eye. Maybe we'd better take a closer look at this. Cat.
Yes!
Yes!
Yes. A snake with arms and legs is just any lizard.
Yeah. Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear, but what is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Ah! Darka's my best friend. I couldn't leave her behind. Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band, whereas regrettably,
Was it like the collar?
this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we then give, pray? What was this sight
Oh,
that
it's
fell
the
upon the
thing she was
victim's eyes
holding.
last night? It's, yeah, whatever. It's that tie? Is that a tie?
It's like a, is it a scarf?
Is it
Is
a
he trying to play
leash?
dress up with the cat?
An No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this question even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that what you are trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's soft skin.
He's really on about the sloughed skin, isn't he?
Soft skin.
Sloughed skin. Or is it sloughed? I can never
Sloughed.
remember.
I actually don't know. I've
I
always
know
said
it's
sloth.
it's pronounced. I know it's pronounced. I know it's not pronounced with an F. If you're talking about like a swamp, then it's slough or slough. For some
so
reason.
weird. I hate English,
Because
dude.
OUGH is a nightmare. Don't like
Ugh.
what sound? It's like literally any goddamn sound that could be made is made. A nightmare. A nightmare.
Terrible.
Did you see that?
Shit language.
She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back.
If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have ever even known. I was also going to say that.
Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Sholmes' specialty. He's ever so cleverly forced her to reveal something.
I thought deduction was his specialty. Or maybe making me
Slough.
believe that was a ploy too.
Apparently it's slough.
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 I see.
Slough. Unless you're talking about a swamp, in which case it's slough or slough. It says both are vile.
That's unfortunate.
But it's always slough and never slough. Or slew. Or slug. Slug.
Slouge.
Anyway.
The worst possible one.
Anyway. The Great Seduction.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine Sholmes doing the same thing, but he's trying to hit on somebody, and like someone has to keep correcting him. Ryounosuke is there as a wingman. It's just like, no. You
You're
can't say
close.
that. That's not a compliment. It's like, I see that you're looking for. I'm not even gonna continue with that. Anything I say will be less funny than my mental image. I find it hard to believe that it's the skin of a snake.
In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back?
Let's look. With our power of spinning.
It's a
cat toy of some kind?
Oh, it's a cat toy. It is a cat toy. Oh, her cat went into the next room and she was trying to lure it back.
She's trying to get the cat back out. The cat scattered into Nara. Oh, the chicken maybe. Did it go to eat the chicken?
Maybe.
Because someone ate the chicken, right?
Right.
Because weren't they confused why there was chicken on the floor? Cats
Yeah.
like chicken, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it was
yeah.
like, does my kitten nose detect chicken? And then it scurried over there, being a cat, and they're unstoppable from what I
Right.
hear. And then she was like, shit, I gotta get this cat back out.
Well, it is speckled and it is a band, but that would also explain the whistling. What is it?
Yeah,
It
she's
seems to
trying
be
to get
soft
the
and
cat.
fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. And that looks like a handle at one end. I think it may be a cat's toy. That's sort of common in
That's
the West.
me.
Oh,
That's me.
I'm sorry.
I think it. Sorry,
I'm sorry, man.
got myself there. just begin yelling, screeching at the top of my lungs. I think it may be a cat's toy. This sort is common in the West, apparently.
How is that a toy for cats?
Cats like to chase the band around and paw at it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave it in front of them and they pounce to catch it.
That sounds positively adorable. Cat's toy.
Yes, it is.
Yes!
Yes! Yes! Ryounosuke, by the end of this, Ryounosuke is visibly excited. He's like, show us the kitten.
I want the cats. Yes, the thing you're trying but failing
it
to
here.
conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, the true nature of the now infinite speckled band. Ah! And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use the speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue cat breed of cat by the name of Darka. Kia! A truly troublesome feline young Darka has proven to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing the photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. The photograph of Miss Pavlova and Darka has been entered into the court record.
I do like that Sholmes is just wildly wrong, but like his logic is fine. He's just like all of his observations are shit, and then you replace one thing and he's instantly like, well, of course.
Well, yeah, obviously.
He's like He's like, you see, you drove here in a red car. And we're like, actually, it was a blue motorcycle. And he's like, that's what I was saying, a blue motorcycle. And that can only mean. And then he comes to another, like, and then like his next conclusion is right. And I'm like, what? And then like after that, he'll be wrong again. And I'll be like, okay. It's really
It was
good.
after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Darka, she is so naughty. Cat. A beloved kitten.
A beloved kitten.
Solved.
Little kitten. Well, this was never right, even when we thought it was a snake.
Right? Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim.
Still snake venom, I'm 100% confident.
How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear there were no visible signs of injury. Ah. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom.
No. What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere in Kazuma-sama's body.
That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned.
Yes, it would seem so.
Maybe he just hasn't seen the autopsy report.
Let's give him the information he's
Oh, that's
missing now.
that's actually a good point. I think we're the only ones with a copy of the autopsy report.
Yeah, Hosonaga gave it to us.
Yep, post-mortem report. There were no traces of any external
Cat
injury or
venom.
poison. Cat venom.
Oh my god.
It was cat
Down
venom.
with the cat venom.
Yes! In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Oh yes, I knew it was one or the other.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Indeed, the breaking of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Steven Stroganoff isn't some immortal freak, you know. The jury is out. Anyway, we have it on good authority that the victim's neck was broken.
Look at this. Did you see that hunch
That pose is
thing
really
that
good.
Ryounosuke was doing? That was a good one.
Now, if we take that as facts, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the cause of death conclusively. I doubt that very much.
It's not the body.
Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. Oh, the bell! Josh,
Yes,
the bell! Yes. The bell, it's the cat's bell!
The bell. It's the cat's bell. The cat's bell that was sliced cleanly in half.
Yeah.
I forgot I thought it was a cup, but I forgot, yeah, they said it was a bell, half of a bell. The pink bell.
Anyway, sorry, I had to yell because
so why did that
whenever something dawns on me, I have to scream it.
Yeah, I know. But why was it cut in half?
I don't know. Perhaps we will find out.
I assumed it would be it's gotta be something with Kazuma's sword.
Ah.
But why?
But why indeed?
You've been struck by truck. Would you rather have your desk slams be bass boost for a dramatic effect, or an inexplicable wind to blow your sick headband? I mean, I want the headband wind myself. I would wear a headband if it was always fluttering majestically in some unknown wind. Fuck yeah, dude.
Especially when it doesn't make sense.
Well, he didn't stab himself.
Well,
As of
no.
yet, no weapon has been found, though.
Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow.
It's still possible this was an accident somehow. I'm just wondering how the
Yeah.
words got there then.
Yeah. Somebody
I
found the body
suppose.
maybe and thought that it wasn't an accident?
It's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident.
Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it.
It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama, though. I mean, he was fucking cool. He wasn't a clumsy man.
Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? Oh, he slipped on something, I think.
He slipped. Right, there's shoe polish on. A mark of shoe polish on the floor.
Mark on floor.
So what maybe happened was he, for some reason, I don't know why he slipped yet, but like he slipped, she went over into his cabin, saw he was dead, freaked out, for some reason wrote that Russian word, and then when she came back out, she hit the emergency button because it was an emergency.
Right.
But that, you know, that all that did was stop the ship.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of.
That all tracks to me for the most part.
It's feeling like it's just an accidental death.
Right. Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish?
Did he slip on?
Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my results. The undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match to the color of Mr. Asugi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asugi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. And by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. No! Did he trip on the cat? I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? Gasp. What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asugi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence.
She did?
But now your involuntary glance betrays the hiding place you chose. It's in that fucking bowling ball bag that's been here the whole time, isn't it? That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that shrouding case.
That's open. Sholmes, that's open.
It's open and there's nothing in it.
Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it.
I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened.
But...
And if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes.
Where, I wonder?
Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere.
See, this is why I'm afraid of heights, of any degree. Including but not limited to stairs. Every time I look down a flight of stairs, I go, because all it takes is you to land on your neck in a slightly weird way and you just instantly die. I mean,
I'm just gonna click on some stuff, see if anything. I don't think the tiara makes sense.
Check the tiara. I would check the tiara.
I think there would be a mark of that because it's very sharp. I'll check it though. See what he says about it.
Just try it.
Ah, somebody appears to have dropped 20,000 rubles here.
It hasn't been dropped, Naruto-san. It's been placed.
It's starting to sound like Mr. Sholmes.
It freaks me out sometimes. That's what I'm saying, Molo guy. Like, I have a real fear of falling, not heights. Because if I'm in an airplane, completely fine. I don't see myself falling out of an airplane. But when I look down a single flight of stairs, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because all it takes is one slightly bad landing on your neck, and you're just dead. Because like, the human body is just a design tragedy, frankly.
It's very bad.
And like all the central nerves running through one fucking weak point. It's just so sketchy. But yeah.
A weak point meant to rotate.
Right? I just like, I don't know, it sketches me out. But yeah, that's why I don't like to saying I have a fear of heights, because I don't really. Like if I'm in an enclosed space, It's fine. It's only if I can if I can picture myself falling easily, then I'm scared. So like if the only thing is like a low wall that's like below my waist,
Like, yeah,
I'm like,
fucking
nope,
waist
no.
high cover at the top of a building. No, thank you.
But if I'm in like a glass elevator, I'm normally like, okay, it's a little woozy, but like it's not that bad because I'm like, it's glass.
Yeah, like generally speaking, I'm afraid of heights, but like I've never been bothered by planes unless I look out the window and think too hard.
Yeah. Oh, stairs. Stairs are so sketchy, man. Sometimes I just want to like butt slides downstairs, even though I'm like 20 something now, because I'm
Even though
like,
it
this
would
is the
destroy
safer
me.
way to do things. Stop trying to sound like the great detective.
Okay, so I don't think it was that. Is there anything in the?
Well, the wastebasket?
Yeah.
Can
is
we
there
check
anything
that
in
again?
there? Oh, there is something in
I
there.
thought we checked it before and there wasn't anything interesting in it, but I don't remember.
Maybe it's maybe it just
This
wasn't
is a
relevant
waste paper
yet.
basket. Perhaps all the first-class cabins have them.
But Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin late last night. Presumably, there's not much rubbish in there yet. Ah, the other
God
half
should
of the
fix.
bell.
There's the other half of the bell.
Oh,
God
what's
should
that?
fix that in Humans 2.0. Yeah, when's God gonna release the patch to fix all the shitty problems? It's
Really need
it's a
it.
broken piece of glass, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I feel like I've seen it somewhere before.
Did he just like step on the bell and that's what cracked it in half?
Maybe. Or maybe that's what he landed on.
Hmm.
I mean, this doesn't seem irrelevant.
It's not, but if it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply.
Or
playing
this is
tricks
the
on you.
evidence she tried to
Well, I think yeah. Can
hide.
you like present it?
I can
I
present
mean, that's
the
what it
basket.
is, though.
Oh, he said he's hiding in the. Yeah, there we go. Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
You just where she's hiding it, basically.
That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Ah. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely. We found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Asagi's cabin. This enhanced version of the theme that plays when Ryounosuke figures something out is really good.
It's very good.
And as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no.
Oh, so it's much more cracked than I thought. I thought it was for some reason like cleanly sliced in
yeah,
half.
exactly. I also
But
thought
the
that.
cracking makes more sense with him stepping on it.
So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of this glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin?
That means
Yeah.
she definitely went in there and saw him dead.
Yep. Went in there looking for the cat.
You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not?
I don't.
I don't know, and that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question.
What?
Take it away,
The photo.
Mr. Naruhodo.
The cat's
yes.
literally wearing it.
The evidence
in the
linking Miss
picture.
Pavlova and the little glass bell. That would be the picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
Darka's wearing it in the
If
picture.
you
It's
look
right
at this
there.
photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from Darka's collar, the very glass bell in question.
The truth has caught up with you, Miss Pavlova. The young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall.
And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka.
I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry.
You almost had me fucking
Yeah, it's
put to death for
Yeah, I was
murder
gonna
over
say.
a cat.
it's like really. I understand that she doesn't want to tell anyone that her cat got someone killed because that's really upsetting.
But it's not like
they were blaming it on Ryounosuke. I feel like at
A
that point
human
you need to
man.
be like, oh, actually, no, it wasn't him.
why don't
They
you
were
tell
gonna
us
toss
now,
him
Miss
his ass in
Pavlova?
the slammer.
Actually, you know what? We should probably stop here. We can catch up with.
I
Miss
can't
Pavlova.
believe they killed off Kazuma in such a shitty way, though. Like, yeah, he tripped over a cat, fucking died.
But why the Russian?
At
then?
least-
I mean, it's because she went into and went. Oh, aha! There's a man in the wardrobe. I don't know why she knew that, or maybe she was just saying Maybe wardrobe. We are still coming back to maybe wardrobe is spelled that way but means something else, or maybe it was upside down or something.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
we'll figure that part
We're
out
getting
next.
close.
I'm still kind of hoping that this isn't the answer, even though I think it is, because it's kind of
Yeah.
a shitty way to go. I don't like dumb preventable deaths. They
Fair.
upset me. At least Mia had the decency to get murdered.
Did used to get murdered by the man she was investigating. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with probably this again. Have a good night. Bye. I waved as if you can see my hand moving. Bye.